Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Halo Infinite once again. And last video, I made a pretty positive video about Halo Infinite, going over the gameplay and just the overall feel of the game being very good. And in this video, I'm actually going to be a little bit critical of a few aspects of the game, primarily the customization and kind of the overall content in the game. And it's a little bit lacking and it's problematic. So let's just go ahead and dive in, starting with the monetization. So of course there's a battle pass just like any other game, but this battle pass in Halo Infinite has been one of the worst battle passes I've ever seen in any video game. And obviously I'm not the only one who thinks that. There's plenty of people, in fact I would say the vast majority of people, very unhappy with the battle pass, and rightly so, because the progression takes forever. You are going at a snail's pace through the battle pass, and it's primarily because you don't earn XP pretty much passively at all, except for just 50 XP per match completion, which in the grand scheme of things is really terrible. And there's no incentive for winning games or playing well in a game. You don't get extra XP, and that's just a massive flaw and downside, something that other games have figured out. But for whatever reason, 343 has not been able to figure that out, that people actually like to earn based on how well they play. And so these challenges you have to complete in order to upgrade the battle pass or rank up in the battle pass, they're fine, and they would be more fine if you had the option of choosing the game modes that you want to play. But right now they're all in a mosh pit in the quick play. So when you have a bounty, or not a bounty, but a challenge that says, you know, kill the oddball holder, but you play 10 games in a row and you don't get oddball, like, you're just waiting to complete that challenge, and you have to wait for chance to be on your side to actually get oddball in your playlist, which is a huge problem. It's a massive flaw. You don't actually get to go for the challenges you need completed, and it's terrible. It feels awful. You have to just get lucky, pretty much. And I think primarily, first thing that needs to happen is we need to be able to choose our game modes, because that would alleviate a lot of the problems with the Battle Pass. But that's not it. That's not the only solution. That is a solution I think they should go for. But also, they should add something to the Battle Pass, like a extra 20 XP if you get first place in the match, or like maybe like 10 XP or 15 XP for second place, and 5 or 10 for the last two on the team. Something more to level up your battle pass. This is an excruciatingly long process to level up your battle pass. I'm something like 50 hours almost into this beta battle pass game, whatever it is, and I'm only a level 17 in the battle pass, which is absurd to me, because at that rate, you're looking at over 300 hours to actually max out the battle pass, which is horrible. And since progression is tied strictly to the battle pass in Halo Infinite, it just feels terrible. You're never going to get cosmetics or gear that you want. And I think progression is a very important part of especially shooter games. Pretty much any video game, but especially shooter games. Working towards something is huge in both Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever. It's very much a part of the experience to work towards customizing your character, customizing your weapons, whatever. And the progression being tied strictly to the battle pass just feels terrible, because the battle pass is terrible. So you can be a level 17 in the battle pass after 50 hours and barely have any cosmetics unlocked, and it's a problem. And then the problem gets compounded even further by not allowing people to select the game modes they want to play. It just throws another wrench into the problem, where people now have to rely on pure chance to actually get the game modes they need. And I think that this is really turning me off of the game a little bit, because progression, again, is so important to me. I remember playing the old Call of Duty games, or even the old Halo games, and you were actively working towards things at a pretty comfortable rate. You had things up ahead that you were working towards, and they were achievable in a reasonable time frame, and that's just not the case with Halo Infinite. They definitely need to do a pretty big overhaul, I would say, in time for launch. If not launch, I don't think that will go over pretty well for many people, and I can see myself slowly dying out my playtime with Halo Infinite. I just don't think I can stick around in a game that you barely progress in. So that's a pretty big issue, but now let's actually talk about the content in the game. The game mode selection, again, where you can't actually select the game type that you want to play, is a huge problem, because the challenges, but not just the challenges, people don't want to play a mosh pit of all the game modes. I don't like playing oddball every few games. But beyond the selection of the current game modes, the problem also lies with the lack of game modes. There's no Team Snipers, Team Rockets, there's no King of the Hill mode, there's no Infected, there's just a lack of all these staple game modes from previous Halo games completely gone in this game. And here's my theory on what they're going to do is just remove all those types of game modes and then bring them back for like event style weekly playlist rotations or every other week or whatever, who knows. And that's pretty much what they've already done with the Fiesta event, where they've taken out the random weapons game mode and just thrown it in with Fiesta and turned it into an event where they can monetize it. And don't even get me started on Fiesta. That event monetization is also extremely scummy. You can't even get the challenges you need because after you complete a few of them, they disappear and then you have to work through the regular challenges to get back to the Fiesta challenges. It's a terrible system. And it's all just done in the name of monetize. These game companies are just looking for any way to squeeze out money out of their player base. And I get that Halo Infinite, the multiplayer, is a free-to-play game, but you don't keep people staying around if you don't give them any sense of progression into the game and you constantly just bombard them with monetization. And as much as I'm loving this game in terms of the gameplay itself, I really am getting turned off with the monetization and the lack of options. Like even the maps, there's not that many maps. Like this is probably one of the lowest map rotation Halo games. And after a while, you just kind of get sick of these same few maps. And this game was delayed a year. And it's been, what, 6 years almost? Yeah, it's been 6 years since Halo Infinite or Halo 5 Guardians was released. And this game was also delayed another year. And this is all the content at launch. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. And I've heard a lot of people say, oh, well, they're going to launch more on the official December 8th launch. I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the developers have already confirmed that this is all the maps and all the modes that will be there on December 8th as well. So that is huge, a huge disappointment, especially to a lot of fans of Halo that I know. It's definitely going to turn them off once they log in on December 8th, and the game is just as bare bones as it was during this early access period, whatever you want to call this time period we're playing right now. It's turning them off. The lack of progression is turning me off, and the lack of options again. I want to play Halo Infinite. The gameplay, the core gameplay is so good, but I'm definitely starting to see some major flaws in 343's approach to how they're rolling out this game and how they're letting players customize and progress. But those are just my thoughts. I want to know yours in the comment section below. Please let me know if you are enjoying Halo, if you have any problems with Halo. I'm always curious to continue the discussion down there in the comments section, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you all in the next one.